She lives. Well presents Once in a Blue Moon Manifestation Virtual Event. A sacred full moon ritual for rare desires, feminine power, and divine alignment. At 4:45 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time this morning, a rare celestial event took place. A blue moon. But what makes this moment even more special is that this blue moon is also a micromoon, a full moon positioned farther away from the Earth, appearing slightly smaller, yet still shining with beauty, mystery, and meaning. And tonight, we gather under the energy of this rare moment, not just to look at the moon, but to look within. Tonight, during this sacred celestial gathering, we will explore moon wisdom, feminine cycles, blue moon beauty, full moon reflection, release work, water ritual, spiritual journaling, and a guided manifestation session. This is a moment to pause, to breathe, to listen, to release what no longer belongs to your becoming, and to name the rare desire that has been quietly calling your name. So before we begin, prepare your space. Light your candle if you have one. Place your journal and workbook nearby. Have your pen, your clear glass of water, and your bowl of water ready. Let your body soften. Let your spirit settle. Let your heart open. And set your intention for what you are ready to release, receive, and become. Because once in a blue moon, a woman decides to stop delaying her becoming. Welcome home, Goddess.
Before we begin, I want to ground this space with clarity, respect, and intention. Tonight, we are going to talk about the blue moon. We're going to talk about manifestation. We're going to talk about rituals, spiritual journaling, reflection, release. We're going to talk about feminine wisdom and the power of intention. But I want to be very clear from the beginning. This is not about telling you what to believe. This is not about asking you to abandon your religion, your faith, your spiritual path, your personal practices, or your relationship with God. This is not about giving the moon power over your life. This is about helping you remember the power that already lives within you. Because at the root of everything, at the root of religion, metaphysics, spirituality, prayer, meditation, ritual, manifestation, healing, transformation, at the root of all of that, all begins in the mind. All things begin in the mind. Before something becomes a behavior, it's a thought. Before something becomes a pattern, it's a belief. Before something becomes reality, most of the time is first imagined, is accepted, rehearsed, feared, desired, or declared within the mind. So no matter what path you take, whether you call it prayer, manifestation, faith, meditation, visualization, spiritual discipline, mindset work, or divine alignment, you are still the deciding factor. You are still the one who must choose. You are still the one who must believe. You are still the one who must release the old story. You are still the one who must take the next step. And you are still the one who must decide, I will no longer be or live imprisoned by my thoughts, beliefs, systems, or identities that were assigned to me but never belonged to me. And see, this is why this healing work, this is why healing is not just emotional. Healing is mental, healing is spiritual, healing is psychological, and healing is liberation. Because when your mind begins to open, your life begins to open. When your thoughts begin to change, your choices begin to change. When your beliefs begin to shift, your direction begins to shift. And when a woman begins to think for herself, sees herself clearly, and return to her own inner authority, she becomes powerful. And see, this is why this healing work, this is why healing is not just emotional. Healing is mental, healing is spiritual, healing is psychological, and healing is liberation. Bob Marley said this: none but ourselves can free our minds. And I want you to hear that deeply tonight. None but ourselves can free our minds. People can support you. Teachers can guide you. Books can inspire you. Community can hold you up. Prayer, it can strengthen you. Rituals can remind you. But at some point, you have to participate in your own liberation. At some point, you have to look at the beliefs that have shaped your life and ask yourself, did I choose this? Or was it assigned to me? You got to ask yourself, did this belief free me or did it keep me small? You got to ask yourself, did this thought come from truth or was it born or created from fear? You also got to ask yourself, did this image of myself come from my soul or was it handed to me by someone who benefited from my silence? Dr. John Henrik Clarke taught me something very powerful. He said, in essence, that powerful people do not educate powerless people on how to take that power away. If you want to control people, you must control image. You must control ideals. You must control systems and the beliefs they live under. And one of the most powerful images to control is the image of God. Because if a person worships a God of their choosing, they're going to begin to think, move, and live in a direction of their own choosing. And they're going to think their way out of oppression. They're going to think their way out of that imprisonment. But if they worship an image, an ideology, an educational system, or a belief system that was assigned to them without question, then those who assign those things to them can influence the way they see themselves, the world, and their power, and they can control them. And that is why this work matters. Because we are not just here to light candles. We are not just here to journal under the moon. We are not just here to write down wishes and call it manifestation. We are here to examine the mind. We are here to ask, what have I been taught to believe about myself? What have I been taught to believe about my body? What have I been taught to believe about God? What have I been taught to believe about power? What have I been taught to believe about womanhood? And what have I been taught to believe about desire? Oh, and lastly, what have I been taught to believe about what or who I am allowed to become? Because if the mind is the beginning place, then the mind must also become a place of liberation. Tonight, when I speak of the blue moon, we are using it as a symbol of rarity, a symbol of reflection, a symbol of cycles, a symbol of illumination, a symbol of something that does not come every day. And maybe for you, this rare moment is not just about the moon in the sky. Maybe this rare moment is about the woman within finally telling the truth. Maybe this moment is where you stop waiting for someone else to save you. Maybe this moment is where you stop asking for permission to be, permission to become. Maybe this is the moment where you stop delaying the desire that has been quietly calling your name. And maybe this is the moment where you say, my mind is mine. My healing is mine. My body is mine. My spirit is mine. My vision is mine. My relationship with God is mine. My becoming is mine. My liberation is mine. So as we enter this experience, I invite you to keep your heart open and your mind awake. Take what resonates. Reflect on what challenges you. Release what does not align. But most of all, return to your inner authority. Because this work is not just about giving your power away. It's not about giving your power away at all to the moon. It's not about giving your power away to a ritual. It's not about giving your power away to a teacher or a system or a belief. This work is about remembering that you are an active participant in your own healing. You are not powerless. You are not empty. You are not waiting to be chosen. You are not waiting to be rescued. You are not waiting to be given permission. You are the woman who gets to decide what you believe, what you release, what you receive, what you embody, and who you become next. So tonight, under this rare blue moon energy, we are going to reflect, we are going to release, we are going to write, we're going to declare, we are going to call forth the woman who is ready to rise. Because once in a blue moon, a woman decides to stop delaying her becoming. Welcome home, goddess. Tonight, we gather under a rare sky. Not just a full moon, not just a beautiful night, but a blue moon. The second full moon in one calendar month. And not only that, this blue moon is also a micro moon, appearing smaller because she is farther from Earth. And there's something deeply symbolic about that because sometimes things that are far away still pull on us. Sometimes the dreams that are distant are still calling us. Sometimes the version of ourselves we have not yet to become is not gone. She is simply waiting for the right moment to rise. Tonight is that moment. Welcome to Once in a Blue Moon Manifestation. Tonight, we are not here to chase magic. We are here to remember that we are already connected to it. A blue moon is not called blue because of its color. It is called blue because of its rarity. It is a reminder that some moments do not come often. Some doors do not open every day. Some invitations must be honored when they arrive. And this is why we say once in a blue moon. It means rarity. It means sacredly, unexpectedly, miraculously. Tonight, we are not just looking at the moon. We are looking at a rare window of intention. For centuries, women have been called lunar beings. Not because every woman bleeds with the moon. Not because every woman's cycle is exactly 29 days. Not because our bodies are meant to perform on command, but because women understand cycles. We understand becoming. We understand releasing. We understand swelling, softening, emptying, renewing. We also understand the mystery of carrying what cannot yet be seen. The moon teaches us that we do not have to be full at the time. There is power in the new moon. There is power in the waxing moon. There is power in the full moon. There is power in the waning moon. And there is power in the dark. Tonight, under this blue moon, we honor every phase of womanhood. The woman we were, the woman we survived being, the woman we are becoming, and the woman who is ready to rise. The werewolf myth is not just about a monster. It is about what happens when hidden instincts, suppressed emotions, unhealed wounds, and shadow desires come out under illumination. The full moon shines light on what was hidden. So the werewolf becomes a metaphor for that part of us that transforms when the truth is fully exposed. That part of us that has been civilized, that part of us that has been silenced, controlled, or repressed. That part of us that howls when it can no longer pretend. That part of us that says, I cannot keep hiding what I feel. For women, this is powerful because many women, many of us, have been taught to hide our anger, our hunger, our grief, our sensuality, our ambition, our voice, our wildness. But the full moon says, what is hidden must be witnessed. What is suppressed must be honored. And what is wild is not always wicked. Sometimes the wild thing is the true thing. So tonight, we do not fear the wolf. We ask, what part of me has been waiting for permission to be free? Place one hand over your heart and place the other hand over your lower belly or your womb space. Inhale through your nose and exhale from your mouth. You're going to repeat that. And as you breathe in, I want you to inhale as if you are drawing moonlight into your body. And as you release the breath, I want you to exhale as if you are releasing everything that has been too heavy to carry. Tonight, breathe with the moon. We breathe with the woman we are becoming. We breathe with the dream that has not died. Repeat silently. I am here. I am open. I am ready. I am aligned. Look into the bowl of water. Do not force anything. Simply gaze. This water represents your inner world, your emotion, your intuition, your truth. Ask yourself, what is being reflected back to me tonight? What desire keeps returning to me? What dream have I been afraid to name? What part of me is ready to be seen? Now I want you to press pause as you write what comes to your mind. Whatever comes up, I want you to write it in your journal. Under this blue moon, I release what no longer belongs to my becoming. I release the fear that made me shrink. I release the doubt that made me delay. I release the old voice that told me I was not ready. I release the patterns that kept me circling the same mountain. I bless the lesson. I reclaim the power. I return to myself. Now take that piece of paper and rip it into pieces, and then place it beside the bowl. Now is the moment of manifestation. I want you to write one rare, bold, beautiful desire. Not 20 things, just one thing. That thing that you keep saying is impossible for you to do. That thing that you secretly want. That thing that you would ask for if heaven was listening. That thing right there. Write that. Tonight, under this rare blue moon, I give myself permission to desire boldly. I no longer apologize for wanting more. I no longer shrink my vision to make others comfortable. I no longer call my dream impossible just because it hasn't happened yet. I align with divine timing. I align with sacred action. I align with the woman I am becoming. And so it is. Hold your glass of water in both hands. This water will become a symbol of what you are receiving. Speak into the water. I bless this water with clarity. I bless this water with courage. I bless this water with divine alignment. I bless this water with the energy of my becoming. As I drink, I receive. I receive guidance. I receive wisdom. I receive courage. I receive opportunity. I receive the version of me who is ready. Now drink slowly. Goddess, tonight you gathered under a rare moon, a blue moon, a micro moon, a moon that reminds us that distance does not cancel power. Some dreams may feel far away, but they are still real. Some visions may feel delayed, but they are still alive. Some prayers may feel unanswered, but they are still moving through unseen places. Tonight, you name the desire. You release the old story. You bless the water. You remembered your connection to cycles, mystery, power, and divine timing. So, as you leave this circle, do not ask, will it happen? Ask, who am I becoming as it happens? Because manifestation is not only about calling something in, it is about becoming the woman who can hold it. And under this blue moon, may you remember, rare things still happen, sacred doors still open, miracles still move. And when a woman remembers who she is, she lives. Welcome home, Goddess.